Hey, and welcome to another Geek Out commentary. I'm Sam.
I'm Chris.
I'm Jake.
I'm Josh.
And we are rounding out Chris's birthday month, even though there's one more week. But we're rounding out his little birthday marathon with, you guessed it, Back to the Future Part 3.
Who's surprised?
Yay!
Nobody.
But yeah, this is actually the Back to the Future sequel I like the best. It's only a 50-50 shot, but this is the one I like.
Yeah. For the longest time, this was actually like what I toted privately because I would get made fun of a lot for it. But this was my favorite of the three movies.
Oh, wow.
Mostly because like growing up, I was a huge train enthusiast. You know, had like my own little model railroad down in the basement.
A Lionel set?
Probably. I forget because I wasn't like that. I wasn't so like into it that I knew all the things. I was just like trains. Yeah. And
looks like a train.
Yeah, exactly. It moves on its own. But yeah, so and and I still like to this at this point I'm still like it's the best of the two sequels for sure. But like now more like in tune with like good filmmaking and stuff like that. I see the merits of the first one, far outreaching, the what they do in the third one.
Yeah,
from a technical sense.
And I kind of feel like the filmmakers would agree with you because this is the one they wanted to make.
Yeah. The number two, just as like we pointed out, at certain points on the last commentary, number two is definitely just like a means to get to number three, just because they kind of wrote themselves into a corner. With the ending for the first one, they were like, "Oh crap! Now we have to continue this." Yeah, so hooray!
Either of you gentlemen have any thoughts on Back to the Future Part 3?
I've never seen Back to the Future Part 3.
I'm excited for Clint Eastwood.
I'm going to go ahead and say it's my favorite already because it's a Western. So this is my favorite. I've never seen it, but this is my favorite of the Back to the Future movies.
Well, we'll see if there's any like good references to Clint Eastwood that you pick up on being such an avid fan, and any good like Western themes. That maybe I don't notice because I'm not that big on Westerns.
I'm really hoping they do an homage to the Bridges of Madison County of all the Clint Eastwood movies.
Oh, yeah. Not Every Which Way But Loose?
If they get an orangutan in there, bring it on.
What about you, Josh?
Well, out of all three, there are sections from this one I do enjoy. Unfortunately, two still being my favorite. But
it doesn't have to be unfortunate. Yeah.
As
you like what you like.
As a trilogy, I do enjoy all three.
Yeah. There is a point near the end of this movie where I tend, in my private viewings, I tend to shut it off and pretend that there isn't any more movie afterwards, and I'll talk about that when it comes up because I think it's silly.
And to be fair, Chris is right on that.
I like it.
Yeah, you're allowed to like it.
Yeah, just like
I'll be the final judge of that.
Yeah.
We're going in fresh.
What you're talking about.
Fresh.
All right.
Chris, set us up.
All right, so we are watching on the same Blu-ray box set that we were watching the first two movies on. Again, there's no special anything, so you should be fine on whatever medium you're using. So just make sure you have the movie ready to go, the counter set to 0. When you got that, just start up this, and I'll have a countdown and tell you to hit play in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, play. And now this one was a pretty special one because this Universal logo is their, the 75th anniversary run of all the logos that they've used in the past. And Robert Zemeckis and Bob Gale were kind of annoyed that they had to do all of this stuff because then it ruined kind of the symmetry, I guess it would be symmetry, of the other two movies having one consistent logo. The last one that you saw, not the one prior to this.
Because God forbid you make a movie with a studio that wants to celebrate its 75th anniversary.
Well, I get it. I get both ends of it. It's their studio and they're doing a specific logo, but it kind of does suck that you have this series of 3 movies that all came out relatively close to each other, and there's an inconsistency. It's a minute thing, so
it's Monk level.
Well, the theme,
as in the show Monk.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Because if you look at all the box sets for Monk, they're all the same except for what was it? It's season 5 or something, and just to fuck with you, and you're just like, God damn it!
Yeah, and just like that one Bond movie.
Die Another Day with a bullet coming at you?
No. The one that was done by the different studio.
Oh, Never Say Never Again?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you ever know?
But you know, with the theme being time travel, you think the opening wouldn't really matter that much.
I think it was cool that they have like at least the original logo because it's like they're going back in time.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
You could argue that, and I'll accept that argument, and I'll allow it.
I'm gonna go back in time. I mean, no, you know.
Batten.
All right.
Actually, I think it's I gotta get back in time.
This though
Yes.
is the one. I stand corrected from last week.
Yeah.
This got ZZ Top.
Yeah. This is the one that has ZZ Top's song and features ZZ Top in a cameo.
Almost featured Ronald Reagan.
Yeah.
He was originally supposed to cameo in 2, and then they're like, maybe 3, but he was originally supposed to be the mayor of 1885 Hill Valley.
Oh, I actually didn't know that. That's a cool factoid.
Now,
For
that
the-
would have been interesting.
For the Ghost Rider effects there with the tires, was there anything special they did, or they just literally had?
I think they just have like
Trails
bags
of
of like magnesium.
because I
something
noticed
like that on
in
the
like
road.
the first one, it slowly goes out, like when they're in the parking lot of the mall.
Yeah.
Which was cool. Like it was nice. It was cool to see it. Like
Yeah, it's
slowly
just something
simmer
that
away.
burns off.
Okay, I didn't know.
Like
if there was,
you can see
anything-
the fires kind of dimming in the background there too.
If there was anything special they did.
I don't know exactly what they used, but yeah, they just had like flammable stuff on the ground that they lit, and then kind of like just let it slowly burn out as the takes were going. Yay, part 3.
Yeah.
And so none of that had to be reshot, unlike the beginning of part 2 where they had to reshoot around the new Jennifer.
Now, was this kind of like Pirates of the Caribbean level where it was back-to-back, or was it Superman 1-2 level where it was simultaneous?
I believe it was back-to-back just because there was so much... there was such a difference in the set pieces.
Steenbruggen.
That's right.
Yeah.
Ted Danson's wife.
That's right.
To this day, whenever I see her, I think of this movie. Like I've seen her in plenty of other things, but like she is always gonna be Clara Clayton to me. Much like to many people's chagrin. Oh God, what's his name? Malcolm McDowell is always the bad guy from Tank Girl.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, Leah Thompson.
Yeah, she comes back.
She's great in these.
She's such a fine actress.
Agreed.
I think that's probably the... We haven't quite seen that exterior of Doc's house, at least from that angle.
Yeah, we kind of get a glimpse of it in the first movie, but like this is really like showcasing
Eerie
it.
background.
It really is
Yeah.
a beautiful home.
Double back. Fun fact about that. Once they play it, like there's a fun fact about the double back that they use in this movie versus the double back that's on their album.
Wouldn't it have been funny if they used Huey Lewis in the News for all 3 movies, but just like older or younger or different like generations?
Oh, yeah.
Like
I
Huey
would have
Lewis-
approved.
Huey Lewis is like a generational band, like they want Kiss to be. Like when
Yeah.
Paul Stanley and Gene Simmons are gone, Kiss will live forever because they'll recast.
Oh, that would be cool.
Yeah.
That's their plan.
Let's be the new Gene Simmons and
Or even like
Paul
in the
Stanley.
first film where they just feature,
Yeah. He's just in it.
Yeah.
Nice and sleepy.
science.
Sleepover at Doc's. Party at Kitty and
Oh,
Stubbs.
so
God.
that's what actually comes on the TV.
Yeah.
Fun fact that Josh recently posted on my Facebook. Bob Gale was talking about the backstory between Doc and Marty and like why they have like the relationship that they have, and it was if I'll try to paraphrase from memory, but it's because Marty is kind of an outcast and. Everyone's telling him, stay away from the crazy old mad scientist, blah, blah, blah. So, like, curiosity gets the better of him, and he goes and, just meets him, and, like, Doc sees this nice little spark of something in him. So, like, he starts being his, like, lab assistant, and they, like, start working together on things. And then, as I believe I mentioned in the first movie podcast, or the commentary, in the original script, they also had a little side movie bootlegging business.
Oh.
Because that was how the first movie was supposed to start out, with him bootlegging 2001 A Space Odyssey.
Similar premise to Man Without a Face, where like the little kid everyone says stay away from Faceless Mel Gibson. Except they're learning about like school and paperwork or not paperwork. What the fuck? School homework and getting into military school, and it's Mel Gibson's first directorial debut.
Titular line.
I sent you Back to the Future Part 3.
Face it, Doc. You'll keep sending him back to the future. You can't get rid of the kid.
That might be my favorite Doc moment so far. In the entire,
oh no,
just
it's
his
great.
freak out.
I love it. Joker face, Christopher Lloyd.
I love his reaction when he holds up the letter.
Yeah. And this shot.
Yeah.
One
perfect shot right there.
I wonder if that was a Christopher Lloyd thing.
Oh, it had to be.
He came up with it.
Yeah.
He was like, guys, I got this.
Look at my mouth.
I brushed my teeth just for this.
Hey, it's the thing from Batman Forever.
Yeah.
Still doesn't work.
I should make that and just walk around like Comic-Con wearing that.
Yeah.
You wouldn't
Walk
be
around
allowed
with a
to
suction
walk
cup.
around at all.
or have someone
he's
like
tall-
attached to me.
he's tall
yeah,
enough.
no, yeah. It's like
He's
me
tall
walking
enough.
with an umbrella. It's
No,
fine.
you'd be stopped every 2 steps.
Yeah, probably. And then like have like someone with the suction cup on their forehead just walking trailing
Does
behind
anybody
me.
else feel like a Friday? Oh man, we did a Batman Forever reference before '89. For shame.
That's all you.
I know. Damn it, Jake.
Stupid Jake.
I like he stopped questioning his phrase of the word heavy.
Yeah.
He's been there for a relative week before this. So he's just like, okay, yeah, there's that word again.
That's that lingo. I like that they still have the scale model, or the not scale model of the city, the town square.
Yeah, continuity this film does well.
Yeah.
It is crazy when you think, like you said, I would think about it, like Sam was saying, like this is all kind of happening at the, within, a couple days. Of each
according
other,
to
really.
1995 doc, it's been about a week since since Marty turned up.
Yeah.
For
Yeah.
what?
For
And the fact that this is happening after the end of the first, you know what I mean? Like
Immediately,
it's just,
yeah.
immediately
Yeah.
after the first one.
Yeah, for the amount of work and time travel thrown into this film, the specifics to detail they keep around is just spot on.
Yeah, pretty stellar.
Here's the thing. What if because of seeing his own letter, knowing how he ends up, what if he didn't tape the letter, the original letter?
Or what if that's the reason why he does tape it back together?
Works both ways, yeah.
The door
I'm just going to
swings
let
both
my
ways.
head explode now from that logic.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna say I like his red shirt.
Pretty sweet. It's not as good as his
My favorite color.
his like dark blue with purple circles from the first movie that I'm all
yeah.
about.
I don't know. I'm more a fan of his Western outfit.
Well, you'll see that in a minute.
Are we talking his...
The one that he travels back in time in?
Yes.
Oh.
The one with the little atoms on it?
Yes.
Oh.
We'll let Jake see that.
The rhinestone cowboy outfit, basically.
Rhinestone starring Sylvester Stallone.
Yeah.
And is it Dolly Parton?
He's
Yes.
a rhinestone cowboy. But you would have been in California during the Dark Ages, where
There was no
Yeah.
Europeans.
We'll let him
Yet.
have his fantasy. Now, is that the same cemetery where he would have found his father in the alternate timeline?
They never
Mm.
specify. I mean,
Yeah, that's funny.
Hill Valley probably has multiple.
Yeah, I feel like
Seems
there's
big
enough people there.
yeah.
It could either be a good thing or a bad thing.
Got to put you dead somewhere.
Can't burn them all.
Well, you
Gotta
can
catch them all.
You can try, but
And this is the first real reference to Jules Verne, which becomes a big plot point. Well, kind of a big plot point.
they follow up on it.
Yeah. It gets touched on.
Man, Doc really knows himself very well.
Well, I mean,
One would hope.
yeah. If you don't know you, who does?
He takes quite a gamble with his future self.
You know what Socrates always says? Know thyself.
Beef oven.
He also says, like the sands of an hourglass, so are the days of our lives.
Yeah. How has that book been selling, by the way? The Bill and Ted.
I'm sorry. Oh, Bill and Ted. Fine.
I didn't even know they had a Bill and Ted book.
Yeah.
I might have to check that out.
Mm-hmm.
The Action Comics 40 variant was Bill and Ted, where it was Superman and Doomsday.
Oh, no.
Yeah, it's pretty great. How about that Chrononauts?
Oh man,
Back to the Future variant.
I so want to get that now that you tweeted that at me.
Sean Murphy, man.
Yeah, I love Sean Murphy. Got his cupcake.
That's right. Got his Batman. You have a drawing of Batman from Sean Murphy.
More of a doodle.
Yeah.
He never.
One man's doodle is another man's drawing.
That's true. He never responded to that tweet, by the way, as a side note. Oh yeah, there was that cute little joke about Japan that we just missed. Doc's like, here's the reason why it failed. It's made in Japan. And then Marty, being from the 80s, is like, what are you talking about? All the best stuff's made in Japan. And Doc is like, World War II just ended.
Didn't they have a similar
10 years ago.
reference in the first film like that?
I don't remember one.
I don't recall
Not
anything
specifically
like that.
towards the Japanese,
Yeah.
certainly.
But just of like a foreign-made part, I thought. You know, same when Marty goes back.
Knowing me, I'm going to rewatch him now, but I don't recall anything. By the way, earlier the line when he mentions Einstein in the letter, and Doc's like, huh? And Marty's like, it's what you call your dog in 1985. When I first saw this, I had no concept of like dog lifespans, so I thought he meant that he changed the name of his dog at some point. And so like 30 years in the future, it's like, I'm tired of calling you Copernicus. I'm going to call you Einstein.
You know, this has to be the same cemetery he found his father in.
No,
I mean, it doesn't have to, but
but
the fact they're finding Doc now.
I mean, it would make a cute coincidence.
it would make a cute, but I mean that one was overlooking, like, whereas this one's kind of in a valley
Well, again,
Granted,
alternate
30
timeline.
30 years can change a lot.
of the landscape.
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
yeah, developing. I mean,
Poltergeist status.
in alternate 1985, everything is, like nuclear power plants and shit like that. So
Oh,
they would
yeah.
have dug up dirt.
Yeah. I do like that. I always found it eerie, that of course Copernicus, like, can just sense where his master's buried.
Yeah, even like, what is it, like 70 years in the future?
Yeah. Oh no, it's yes, you're
85 to 55.
Yeah, math, right?
That's a cool shot.
That's
Yeah.
a one perfect shotter. Yeah.
Yeah, that's like a legit one, whereas like the earlier one was a goofy one.
Yeah, or
It
mine.
still would have worked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They just completely dropped the idea that all his relatives would look like Crispin Glover. They're like, no,
Yeah.
at this point they look like Michael J. Fox.
Oh yeah, there's the shirt I was talking about. The one with the purple
yeah.
circles, or I guess pink circle.
Yeah, this could be
Red?
light. It's weird.
Yeah.
Chartreuse.
Yes.
Salmon.
Solomon.
God, his face is
Oh, he's so good.
fantastic.
Yeah.
You know,
Look
that
at my
pose.
clock.
That pose not nearly as awkward as what he ends up doing
Yeah, later.
next time we see that photo. Yeah, it looks kind of like white and red. Now that I'm paying attention, I love this. This is probably my favorite DeLorean design, with the fuses on the
Yeah.
hood and the white wall tires.
Mm-hmm.
It's so pretty. I have a model of that around here somewhere.
Might have actually saved the car.
Oh, so Jake, here's your first Clint Eastwood reference.
And there's Revenge of the Creature
Yeah,
right
yeah.
next
So,
to it.
so fun fact.
He kind of did in Pink Cadillac.
Fun fact, right there, he points to the poster of Revenge of the Creature when he's saying, "Oh yeah, you haven't heard of him yet," because Revenge of the Creature, the sequel to The Creature of the Black Lagoon, is Clint Eastwood's first big screen role and possibly first like film role in general.
Don't leave home without it.
We're in Monument Valley, man. Where John Ford filmed like The Searchers, and where Leone filmed Once Upon a Time in the West.
Jim West.
Desperado.
Sorry, had to do it.
No, don't ever apologize for that. And also the opening scene for Last Crusade, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
At this point, Last Crusade had already come out.
Museum. Yeah. 89, man.
Yeah, though this is
Just like Batman '89.
Yeah.
It doesn't count as a.
No, it doesn't.
We gotta.
No.
We gotta.
We'll
do
get
it.
there. Oh, we'll get there.
It's got to be natural.
Keep your ears open.
Yep.
I hope at some point we become big enough that people like are actually like cataloging all the references to Batman '89 we make, and like pointing out the any commentaries where we don't do one.
Give it time.
And like a super cut of all of us going.
But no, the goal is a supercut where they can do the entire movie with quotes. Just pull quotes from.
Oh my God.
We've said every quote in all of.
That would be amazing. A la Bat Dance style.
Oh yeah. I talked to a guy at the comic shop who did Bat Dance for karaoke.
Yeah.
And he goes, "You never realize how bad of a karaoke song that is until you're up there doing it, and you're going, Vicky Vale likes Batman." He goes, "Yeah, it was a terrible mistake."
Well, Doc gave Marty some terrible advice here about worrying about those Indians.
Hey, Lone Ranger. This is
Well,
already,
he is
this is already
using
my
a
favorite
silver
one.
revolver.
Yeah. This is seriously already my favorite Back to
I
the
feel like
Future
that's
movie.
the same revolver that he has in 1985. That jams when he tries to,
Probably because he
Is that a
Cute
40? Is that a
coincidence.
44 Magnum? Looks like Clint Eastwood style.
biggest gun.
I'm amazed that he was able to get up to 88 miles an hour in this small of a space.
Now, bye-bye fake Indians.
Yeah,
Hello,
how convenient.
unfortunate Indians.
I love the transitions.
Yeah.
Oh,
They're
yeah.
so cool.
How it's just a pop.
Yeah, there's no
No wormhole.
like crazy effects. It's just boom, you're there. I think my favorite one still is in the first one. It's
Oh,
like
and-
that all of a sudden that
Where it's
cuts
just
to.
Scarecrow.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's great. That is a cool DeLorean. I think out of dude, what if they did Back to the Future where he ends up in the Mad Max universe?
He goes too far ahead. Or
Yeah,
something.
he ends up. He's like,
too far.
no, like he cuts and he's like driving too, and it's that shot where like Lord Humongous is driving at him with like the harpoon or whatever. It swerves out of the way. The gyro captain's flying around.
Just harpoons the
And
dash.
then Tina Turner
Yeah.
just like, oh.
Yeah.
There it went.
Yeah.
Hey, that's someone's favorite Mad
It
Max
is.
movie.
It is. It's my roommate.
Yeah, Sam knows that person.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
Oh, Stu's a cool guy.
That is an unfortunate outfit.
I love
What are you
it.
talking about? It's beautiful.
Totally.
That's your
Legit.
cosplay. That's
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
With the 1955 like headpiece.
Man, those horses gotta jump down.
Goodbye, horses.
Oh, that's imagery for that one, man. That's the weird thing is, I think it's a really good song.
It's all right.
If you ever like sit and listen to like the actual whole song, not just the Mangina stuff.
I fucked me hard.
Fucking bored, man. Boredom's the first step to relapse.
I like simple things in life. Dynamite and gasoline.
Interesting thing is, in the first movie, Doc is talking about the DeLorean, and he's like, "Does this run on regular unleaded?" And Doc's like, "No, it's electric." And then it's gasoline.
It's electric.
Boogie woogie woogie.
It's electric. Oh, it's electric. This
Oh.
fucking must have hurt.
Yeah, there's no way to fake that.
And then this is a cute transition here. Boop.
Magic.
Yeah. Movie magic.
Same thing.
Best magic of all.
Yeah, it is. Spielberg. It's usually got a hand in it somewhere.
And then recreate this 3 times.
Third time's the best.
There's a charm.
So how many characters throughout the trilogy does Michael J. Fox play?
I want to say about 5.
Nice.
It depends if you count old Marty.
Do you count old Marty or... Because it's still the same character, but he...
Well, I mean, I count... Yeah, anytime he has to like wear a prosthetic or every time and play a different era or anything.
Okay,
yeah.
So there's just Marty in the first one.
Yep.
And then there's 85 Marty, 2015 Marty, then his 2 kids, and then there's his however many greats grandfather he is in this movie. So unless I'm forgetting one, that's 6.
Nice. I just go back in time and like straight up be the Lone Ranger, but I'd probably like, die on my first mission.
Hi ho, Silver. Ah!
Hi-yo, away. I don't know how to ride a horse. Shit. Fall off.
I should have really thought of this.
Yeah.
Put the flux capacitor in a horse. Somehow get it over 88.
Yeah, turn into the magical Silver from the Lone Ranger film. It's in a tree, randomly. Oh man, it's so cool. It's so easy to like.
Is it
to
just
get me into these movies, man?
me, or does that baby look like Oscar from Ghostbusters 2?
I mean, it looks like a baby. to be totally honest, like a lot of babies have a very similar look. So
True enough.
if I remember correctly, the credits say introducing the kid who plays that baby. So I think this would be its first role. Look at that murky water. That's the big problem with time travel. Marty's probably going to die of dysentery now.
He'll be fine. He can get back to... Oh. Now, in terms of lead poisoning, though.
Yeah. But, our bodies aren't used to the germs that they had back then. Just like our bodies wouldn't be used to the germs in the future. So we would... any time traveler would have to have ridiculous inoculations before they went traveling, or would die of some disease that we just have no notion of now, like
No
smallpox
exposure to.
or
like this, like the whatever strain of the flu.
yeah.
But also,
Or, I mean, a farm animal, so anthrax.
Yeah.
but also with all this time travel, Marty gets to see, how well his
Clever.
family got to survive.
Clever Leah Thompson walking across the screen just in time for that transition of the baby between the two actors who weren't actually there, acting opposite of each other. Movie magic.
It's almost as if he looks exactly like me.
Yet
If I
I
shaved
do
my
don't
facial hair.
notice it.
Seamus McFly is a spiritual brother, man. He's all about I came here just because I got a feeling that my life depended on it. I'm helping this guy out because I've got Jesus came to me in a dream telling me to take this guy in. That kind of stuff. He's all about it.
Is it nearsighted or farsighted where you can't see close up?
You're nearsighted if you can't see.
I gotta
Or
imagine.
no, you're farsighted if you can't see close up.
Yeah, because you can see far.
Yeah. It's inversed, yeah.
I gotta imagine his past descendants that then not being able to tell.
See the birth of Hill Valley.
You go repaint the town red and call it hell.
Get a shave.
Yeah.
Blow away 3 dudes. Have sex with
Do
Mariana
what
Hill
with
in
3
a
dudes? No.
Oh, I got your attention now. Dude.
Yeah.
There's the
That
bar
in the bathhouse.
Yeah. Meat market. That's what got my attention.
Give me some of that poultry.
Ever see A Million Ways to Die in the West?
Terrible
No.
movie.
Not yet.
I love Seth MacFarlane, but terrible movie.
I'm told the best part is Doc Brown's cameo.
if you've seen the trailer,
Yeah.
then you saw his cameo.
Like it doesn't. There's no more of it.
Nah, not that I remember, but it's a shame because I love Ted and I love Family Guy and I love American Dad.
You looking forward to Ted 2?
I am. Little less after seeing Million Ways to Die in the West, but I still like Seth MacFarlane. Can all be winners.
How great would it be if this clock tower right here suffered some great catastrophe before it was finished?
That would fuck everything up then, right?
Just about, yeah. Just like the hanging of Stinky Lomax.
That is an extremely unfortunate place to jump.
Well, shit.
Yeah. Yeah, it was. My moccasins. He's short.
Wells Fargo in the background. Nice little. They managed to get the product placement in, even in 1885.
That's right.
Oh man, I suddenly remember that one of those 3 girls. There's something super significant about one of those 3 guys, and so I'm gonna be radio silent for 10 minutes trying to research
The
again.
third one to speak is the sheriff in The Man Who Shot Liberty Valance. He's also a voice actor in Fievel Goes West, and
I thought he sounded familiar.
he's the sheriff of Nottingham in the Disney Robin Hood.
No, those ring a bell, but could be the same guy, regardless.
It is. It's not. I know my shit.
Well, I mean, I'm not doubting anything that you just said.
Yeah,
I'm just saying none of those were the fact that I was thinking of. So
Now-
therefore, I don't know if that's.
Was it one of those 3 gentlemen?
Yeah.
Now, Chris, is this the film where you got your love of whiskey from?
No, I've always loved whiskey. No,
Did this film help?
probably.
Best Tom Wilson performance in the.
Yes.
Oh, boys, you get so fucking shot up and killed.
No Billy Zane.
I know, it's a bummer.
Unfortunately.
Ghost 2 isn't a cowboy.
Yeah.
It's a shame because he's such a good horse rider in The Phantom.
He is. He has some great stunts in that one.
Remind me again why he doesn't like that name, because it would be a pretty cool name to go by.
Because it's a pejorative nickname, because he has as Marty was saying earlier, because of his tendency to drool.
Yeah. Anything that's got a moonwalk.
Yeah.
Is that a proper moonwalk?
It is.
Yeah. So based on looking them up, I'm pretty sure that the reason why I was excited about the saloon old timers, as they're called in the script, is because one of them is Harry Carey Jr. Like that's.
Oh yeah.
That's it.
Oh yeah.
I'm pretty sure it's the one that just said "You better run, squirrel" too, because he's the only in the IMDb here. He's the only one with chin facial hair.
Is he the big one? Like, is he the one with the
center
mustache? Oh, okay. Yeah, Harry Carey Sr.
That's so cool to jump on a horse like that.
Was an announcer for the Chicago Cubs.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, I have a friend who's a huge fan of him. That's the one that has quite a illustrious drunken history, if I remember correctly.
I think he's also played by Will Ferrell on SNL.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
If you were hungry and you were a hot dog, would you eat yourself?
I have a voice modulation problem.
If the moon was made out of spare ribs, would you eat them? Heck, I know I would. I'd have seconds.
I thought the name looked familiar, and I wasn't sure why. But
Harry Carey, also
Yes.
Japanese ritual suicide.
wasn't going to go that route, but sure, what the hell?
Yeah.
Howdy.
And it kind of rhymes with Madame Curie.
By the way, they actually dragged
Sure.
Michael J. Fox for that.
He looks pretty rough right
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, he does his own stunts.
They put him in a nice enough harness so that it didn't break his ribs or whatever, but you're still being dragged along the ground.
Oh, yeah.
They also accidentally choked him to the point of unconsciousness here.
Braveheart style.
Yeah. Like, that's an actual shot of him choking right there.
That's why it's so sexy.
Yes. David Carradine would agree.
One of the best
Would have
intros
agreed.
ever.
Yeah, right? That's a great way to introduce a character, no matter who it is.
Good, the Bad, and the Ugly semi-reference. Maybe. I don't know. Probably not.
More so,
And
for
a
a few
great
dollars more.
line
Yeah.
for Doc, too.
Yeah. Doc's become a total
Because
badass.
Isn't that the way Blondie saves the Ugly?
Oh, yeah. Tuco. But also, remember, well, it's not so much for a few dollars more, where Lee Van Cleef stands out of, pistol range and pulls out that fancy rifle and shoots.
Yeah.
Man, $5 for a bottle of whiskey that's not shit whiskey.
Well, provided we don't know what Mad Dog's Dorg?
Mad dork.
Yeah.
Mad Borg.
What his taste of
That's true.
whiskey is.
But, 1885, $5 went a pretty fair... the horse itself was only $75.
Yeah, and horse theft is a capital offense in 1885. So $75 is a capital offense in 1885.
That's thousands now.
Right here, Doc is just absolutely done with Marty shit.
Yeah. The last time I watched this movie was on Laserdisc, so I'm kind of getting a cinematographer's hard on with how pretty it looks.
I was about to say, a contact high?
That too.
There's something else on that tombstone he's taking a while. There we go, to realize. Like that stopped you before.
It's stopped him from getting his dick wet.
always did want to get kind of the poncho that Marty gets. When I was in Buenos Aires, I saw one for like $80, and I was like, maybe, but when am I ever gonna wear it?
In the rain.
Yeah.
Comic-Cons?
Should have got it.
There was a guy randomly wearing a poncho at my bar a couple weeks ago.
Like a
Kinda
Western style?
Yeah, like in the same vein as what he wears here.
What was the weather like outside?
Pretty nice. Maybe a little chilly. So, okay, maybe it looked thick enough to keep him warm.
Not just eyes.
Eyes and thighs.
I like how this movie also believes that when you leave a certain timeline, that timeline just stands still and doesn't continue.
Well, I mean, the theory is that they're going to go back at an appropriate time
Yeah. And that's
to continue it.
And that's how the rules have been established anyway.
Wouldn't it be an ice maker?
It still uses the concept, the scientific concept of refrigeration. God, Marty, do you know nothing?
Well, he did call the ice maker a refrigerator, so no.
Well played, Joshua. Well played.
So I was wondering about, with all the Clint Eastwood references, if they had to ask permission for it. And I was just reading about it for a second, that they did ask permission from Clint Eastwood. And, of course, he obviously said yes, and that he was, quote, tickled that they did it.
Did you see anything if they asked him to do a cameo or anything like that?
No, I was just checking the good old IMDb trivia page, which is fantastic as always for
the trivia on these movies is
knowledge.
fantastic.
But no, it just says here we go.
To the later comment of putting a flux capacitor into a horse and getting it up to 88 miles per hour, they just addressed that issue there.
No,
Horses
yeah.
can't go more than 35.
Yeah. I know this. The idea of a horse going 88 miles per hour is fucking ridiculous.
But for those keeping track at home, we just wanted to assure them
I
they
played
do
Robot
address the
Unicorn Attack.
issue.
Yeah.
Amazing game.
I sang that song at karaoke once.
Angels wept.
Yeah. Jesus wept.
Wouldn't that have been great though if
Jesus
they had if they had a man with no name, Clint Eastwood, shows up, just kind of like a little like when he's in the bar, like he's sitting next to him or whatever.
Or
when he goes Eastwood, Clint Eastwood, it just
Yeah.
cuts to that guy going, huh?
Yeah. The
Or-
D is silent. I know.
comes by in town, him and Doc have a small little conversation and then rides off after giving him some wisdom.
This shot took a lot of choreography. You wouldn't necessarily believe it since it's such a simple shot between the two of them, but it's been on them. It's been a relatively long shot, and to get this train in the background chewing at the right time was so complicated that that sequence of shots, or that shot rather, took an entire day to film.
Huh.
Just those 5 lines.
Something you usually don't think about, too, when you're watching a movie. You just it works.
Well, yeah, the Bob Gale and Robert Zemeckis go on about it on the commentary on the Blu-ray.
Makes you appreciate the art even more.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, did they explain why the Mr. Fusion doesn't work?
It does work. He said, but the Mr. Fusion only powers the time circuits.
Oh,
it has nothing to do with the engine.
Oh, okay.
It's basically
It's a substitute for plutonium.
Yeah, plutonium or lightning bolts.
Yeah, I was wondering about that.
Hey, look, it's Clara Clayton. About to run into Clayton Ravine.
Yeah.
Plot point.
Hey, it's Ted Danson's wife.
And she's white.
Cheers would have had, what, 2 years left? 1992? Because Frasier started in 93.
No, they didn't start dating until like the early 90s. So
really?
in another couple years, yeah. At this point, as Chris, I assume, alluded to, Ted Danson was dating Whoopi Goldberg.
For I don't know much about Ted Danson beyond his being on Cheers, and then like apparently there was a joke about him having a major preference for the women of color. Not that I'm judging, I don't care.
It's my favorite Red Sox.
Women of color?
No, it's Sam Malone.
And here Doc does another thing he always tells himself not to do.
Touches a woman?
Two things. He never is supposed to.
Christopher Lloyd boner face.
Yeah.
His entire acting and expressions are all through his face.
Mainly his eyes, I feel.
That's a part of his face,
Crazy
isn't it?
eyes.
Oh, shit, Doc.
Here's a question to wrap your head around. Would he have fallen so hard in love with her if he didn't think that he was supposed to fall in love with her? Oh.
Well, why did he intercept her in the first place?
He didn't realize who she was.
Because he felt the need to save a person who was in trouble.
No. Pre Marty's arrival.
Why
would he be out
pre Marty's arrival? He was supposed to pick her up at the train station.
Oh,
right. And actually, I forgot to point out, you actually see her in the background
facing
while they're looking at the map.
Yeah.
Dr. Brown. I didn't go to years of medical school in the future to be called Mr. Or maybe not medical school, but doctor school. I didn't get a doctorate in the 1940s for nothing.
Ever play the Telltale Back to the Future games?
Yes.
I played the first episode.
Where you see young Doc Brown?
Yeah. It was enjoyable for a Telltale game. Their pedigree has gotten better with the titles afterwards.
I'm not much of a...
I like the Sam and Max ones.
Oh, the Sam and Max ones were amazing.
I played those.
Yeah, those were before Back to the Future.
I'm not much of a point-and-click game kind of person. That's what they were for the Back to the Future.
Yeah.
But
most of their stuff is.
But The Walking Dead,
Wolf Among Us,
and Borderlands one's far superior to the Back to the Future one.
Yeah. Game of Thrones.
Yep, that one too.
I grew up playing point-and-click games like King's Quest and Monkey Island and stuff.
Oh, yeah, no, Sam and Max was amazing.
One of my favorites was Indiana Jones and the Fate of Atlantis.
Oh, yeah!
That game is awesome. Still have it.
With the orichalcum beads.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. That's such a great game.
Out of the way, you tub of lard.
Yeah. Sucker punch. Sucker punch. Just sucker punch every time.
Yeah.
Sucker punch.
And then their like mouths would like
yeah.
Yeah. You can't see what my mouth is. It's like a ventriloquist dummy.
Yeah. That game blew my mind. I would play that all the time.
So this is the scene where Doc and Marty realize that Clara Clayton is the reason why Clayton Ravine is called Clayton Ravine, because she was supposed to die there.
And Doc realizes he fucked up.
Yeah.
But one of my favorite parts, and by favorite part I mean like something that kind of annoys me, is that like Marty's like, oh, they say that she fell in there 100 years ago, and Doc's like, 100 years ago? That's this year. It's like, well, yeah, but 100 years ago is a colloquial term. Like, it's not actually accumulative. I mean, it worked out, sure.
Yeah.
And also Doc probably even if it had been like 97 years, probably would have taken the information given to him by Marty and assumed it was pure fact.
Yeah.
I do like in this film how Marty's sort of just like a simple bumpkin kind of going along for the ride, and it's pretty much Doc's movie.
Well, Doc is the plot device, right?
Yeah.
Doc's survival is what the entire reason he goes
Yeah.
back.
And I mean,
Could have just as easily gone back to 1985.
Yeah, but I think I'm picking up what you're saying. Like it is more of a Doc movie than the last two had been.
Like the second from when he shows up to save Marty from the hanging, and so far on to where we're right now, he seems more the lead star, and Marty's kind of just following his lead blindly. And as we mentioned earlier, when Doc and Marty first meet originally in the first film, these are the kind of experiments they would have been running together that built their friendship.
Yeah.
And it's certainly a callback to, 1955, where they're trying to recreate how they're going to do the lightning strike.
It's almost pointless for them to go to all of this grand scale for it. Like, they could have easily just been pushing the train around. It's like, no, I'm going to figure out how to make an electrical coil in 1980 or 1885.
Well, that's the magic of Doc Brown for you.
It's Seth MacFarlane that walks in. Well, you got to go. Weather experiment.
So that's what you call it.
I now remember what I recognize her from. I've been watching a lot of Justified lately, and she's in this final season of Justified.
I haven't caught up, but that's good to know. Is it Sam Elliott? Isn't he in it?
Yes.
Yeah. Without the mustache, though, kind of looks weird.
Yes. Very, very
I mean,
weird.
I understand that he's probably like, I'm more than just a mustache, but like...
That may be
like
true.
Timothy Dalton thinking he's more than just a mustache.
Yeah.
He's Bond,
Or
man.
Tom Selleck.
Tom Selleck, yeah.
Well,
My grandma met Tom Selleck once.
Tom Selleck is the mustache.
By the way, I totally feel like this whole telescope thing was totally a ploy, because she's like, if you turn the knob this way, everything gets all fuzzy. It's like, well, that's how the focus knob works. You're just not looking far enough away.
Silly persons.
I want to see Doc.
Back to the Future took a lot from Back to Part 3. If you've ever seen that parody trailer.
Whenever I see Mary Steenburgen, I always think of Step Brothers, where they Will Ferrell and John C. Reilly, when they were filming it, were just trying to get her to cuss as much as possible, because they saw her as just very saintly, not innocent, but sweet woman. And so there's that one scene where they're fighting, and she goes, "What the fucking fuck?" which is one of the best lines of that movie.
Yeah, that was originally supposed to be Ronald Reagan.
I would have been down for that.
That poor clock.
Because of Reagan. Or lack of Reagan in this case.
Or just because it gets struck by lightning.
Yeah, and never gets fixed.
Yeah. In fact, the residents of Hill Valley get pissed off whenever they talk about fixing it.
It's their Steranko slap.
There's a throwback to an episode from a couple weeks ago.
You were saying?
It's too bad I didn't bring technology from 100 years in the future.
Yeah.
So look at this awkward ass pose that Christopher Lloyd's about to get into. Just like Oh, and here's your ZZ Top. And this is a countrified version of Doubleback, a song that's featured on the soundtrack, I believe.
On the end credits, yeah.
Yeah. But at this point in production, they hadn't actually written the song, so what they're playing on set is a completely different song.
It's like
And-
Sharp Dressed Man or something.
Yeah, I think they're literally just like, I mean, like they
Making
probably
shit
would have
up?
done anyway. They probably are just miming it. And if you
But-
look at Beard, the drummer, he looks like he's just like, whatever.
Yeah. The guy that's running the cult exhibition game is Taggart's right-hand man in Blazing Saddles. It's another great Western comedy. You can tell because he's got the big smile and squinty eyes. Sing something like
That's
Camp
the hat
Town
that Pharrell
Races.
Williams wears nowadays.
Yeah, the Dudley Do-Right.
Yeah.
Now, the question here is, who wears it better?
Dudley
Christopher
Do-Right.
Right answer.
2 of the 3 possible answers
Yeah,
are the
I
right
made
answer.
my own. I was just like, fucking Dudley Do-Right.
Well, you're all correct.
Basically, what you're saying is that you feel that Pharrell Williams does not wear it best.
Are you Camp Marvin Gaye?
Oh, Blurred Lines.
Yeah.
No.
Oh.
Oh, so
Okay.
you're Camp Blurred Lines.
Yeah, you're pro.
Oh,
you're,
no, God, no. No. I
So
say
you're-
no to blurred lines.
Oh, okay.
So you're Camp
Marvin Gaye.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
To be fair, I don't know what the argument is either.
that they stole a Marvin Gaye song to make Blurred Lines.
I'm Camp, the song is shit, and they did steal it.
Yeah.
but sure, why not?
Anything to shit on Robin Thicke.
Yeah. Son of Alan.
Yeah. Thick assholes.
Mm.
Thick dicks.
So
That's a good
and
thing. Damn it.
the thing that's all set up here behind Marty is a throwback to the Wild Gunman arcade game in Back to the Future Part 2 with Elijah Wood.
Yeah. Yeah. There he is, man. I honestly, outside of this and Blazing Saddles, I haven't seen him in anything else.
I like how he intentionally put it in Marty's left hand just to make it awful, because I'm sure he's like, yeah, everyone's right-handed. Left-handed people are evil. And then boom, switches to the right hand. Kapow! Kapow!
Clearly, arcade games has taught Marty McFly not to be affected by recoil.
Recoil, what's that?
Oh, back when 7-Elevens had arcade machines.
Oh.
I think the last time I've seen a 7-Eleven with an arcade machine was Grosse Point Blank. Which was like 1997.
Oddly enough, they still let you use the microwaves in them, too, after that film.
Strickland with hair.
In the original version, and they've filmed it, Tannen kills, like, Strickland.
Yeah, it's a deleted scene that is featured on the Blu-ray. I forget exactly where it happens.
Right before he
But
gets
it's-
back into town for
Yeah.
the climax.
Yeah.
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 But you can see here that he's got his son with him to, show that he's still got his bloodline continues
Mhm.
into 1955.
And that explains why his deputy there is the one at the end of the movie that's like, you're under arrest, blah, blah, blah.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, tension aside.
I'm the fun deputy.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean anything yet, but it will soon.
The Strickland family motto, discipline.
And slackers.
Above all, discipline. Ice to see you.
Oh.
Oh, man, that's a Batman and Robin reference before Batman 89.
It's getting worse.
Nice little reference because Frisbee started out as pie dishes. And then
I'll believe
And
it.
then a fun little line there from Leah Thompson where she's like, it was right there in front of him because he said far out.
yeah.
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 Eyesight issues, I get it.
Two McFlies with the same gun. I'm aware Doc Brown is not actually a McFly, guys.
Nor is that the same gun.
Yeah, it is. He doesn't intend to hit 2 targets either, as far as I know.
He only has but 1 bullet with that gun.
Yeah, Derringer escape plan. Wholesome tip. Crude, but effective.
Danzig?
Killed my baby today. Die, my darling. ZZ Top just still chilling, like, just fucking around.
Playing Clementine.
Yeah.
Damn it, I like that hat.
I don't understand what that means.
Yeah. I don't understand, so...
Must have been some sort of highfalutin insult.
Yeah.
The old plot element from 2 that they force-fed you in 2 is back for 3.
Back for seconds and thirds.
Though not quite as... I don't know, I feel like it isn't as forced here.
Yeah, it's a bit more natural.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's really just here and then at the end.
Yeah.
The acceptable end.
You mean like the regular ending then?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The end that I accept.
So you mean like the theatrically released end? I'm still like pro
That's fine.
train
I also like how they
You
broadcasted
can
that
ride
they're
on
going
this
to
train.
commit a crime.
and ride it.
And no one bothers to try and stop
Because
them.
they're all terrified.
Yeah. Nobody else has guns either.
Who takes only an hour to eat? Barely enjoying the meal.
Wait, it takes you more than an hour to eat breakfast?
Have you ever seen him eat?
I eat a
He takes a
big
while.
breakfast.
Lucky. It's the most important meal of the day. I mean...
Of course, I usually eat breakfast around noon.
I remember the days. It's the most happy
There's ZZ Top. ZZ topping it up.
Yeah.
Playing double back again.
But that's probably the most happy you'll ever see a Strickland. Hey!
Family tradition since 1885.
The one time his crew corrects him and not someone else.
Yeah. No one corrects him in the first one, right?
Yeah, correct.
Yeah.
No one does.
They just kind of like give him the funny look, like,
Oh, yay, the hat was saved.
Eastwood's about a year away from, or 2 years away from Unforgiven, which is about to give him some Oscar love.
yeah. His final Western.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody.
You also understand that if he loses, you get to take it back. He's not going to be able to stop you.
Yeah. Just wanted to make the reference. By the way, you don't get buried with that one. I always like this little sequence.
Oddly enough, he looked exactly like you.
We all looked like Michael J. Fox.
Yeah, think about the future.
Yeah.
There it is.
Yeah.
Where you been spending your nights.
And how to get back to it.
How to get back to the future.
Part 3. Back to the Future, the quest for peace. That's hilarious.
That's hilarious.
Just slides right out. Ooh.
Oh.
I am Jules Verne.
Now that's a plot twist.
Yeah. I love 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea.
That's a great one.
Absolutely.
That and, of course, Journey to the Center of the Earth, which they've referenced a couple times. Around the World in 80 Days.
I love the Disney film of 20,000 Leagues. Is it Disney?
Yeah, with
Did it?
Kirk Douglas.
Yeah, fantastic.
Yeah, as Ned.
I think I have that on the old, the clamshell
Yeah, me
VHS.
too, yeah.
Yeah, it's great.
I love that. They never got a DVD release.
Really?
For
I
that.
was thinking about maybe checking to see if Voodoo had or something.
No,
Wasn't Gore Verbinski going to do a remake of that one?
David Fincher, actually.
Oh, David Fincher. Thank you.
And
Ooh, that would have been Trent Reznor score.
yeah.
20,000 Leagues Under the Sea. Ambient noises. His scores rule, by the way.
Throwback to the first film.
Yeah. Always got
It's
the
a really cool egg desheller.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Toast. I love toast.
You guys are wondering why it takes so long to eat my breath, because this is part of it.
You have a Rube Goldberg
You
machine.
have a Pee-wee's Big Adventure style Rube Goldberg machine
Yes.
that's constantly breaking, so you have to fix it, and then you end up just pouring a bowl of Mr. T cereal.
Hey, did
Yes.
anyone actually play Mousetrap, or did they just fucking
Set it up and
set
then
it up
let it go.
yeah.
Yeah, I don't even know what the rules to Mousetrap
I
are.
set it up, tried to play it, got confused, deassembled it.
You at least-
Tried to flip the guy
Yeah.
into the thing, and it just never worked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
By the way, we just missed some Michael J. Fox ass crack.
Oh, I saw it. I saw it again.
There was a little butt cheek.
Smiling at us. It's actually Taxi Driver.
Ad-libbed by De Niro.
Hmm.
I think the script said something like, here we go again.
Yeah.
It's the non-Western Clint Eastwood. But
Yeah.
I think it said just Travis talks to himself in the mirror. And
That's where De Niro kind of just...
do you think that's one of those things where, the screenwriter, probably everyone's like, oh, you wrote Taxi Driver. You talking to me? You talking to me? He's just like, yeah, I didn't write that line.
Yeah.
Kind of like, I don't think Oliver Stone wrote the Say Hello to My Little Friend in
Yeah. Into Scarface.
in Scarface. That was something Al Pacino ad-libbed.
I remember back when I was really into Buffy the Vampire Slayer, the TV show. I was watching this this little panel or something like that with some of the writers, and they were like, "Yeah, I'm credited as the lead writer for this episode or that episode, blah blah blah, and like every time someone like comes up, talks to me at a convention, and they're like, oh man, you know, I love this like one line. It's like, yeah, Joss wrote that line. We're going Back to the Future Part 2.
That means the future hasn't decided who to kill yet.
Why do all Western Undertakers look the same? Like in every fucking movie?
Pretty much, yeah.
Same complexion, same outfit, same...
I think that's part of the unwritten rule of movie making.
Yeah.
That or it's part of the union.
Morticians are very adamant how they're portrayed.
Yeah, they send a
in
contract.
Period pieces.
Yeah.
Not enough black.
Yeah. More black.
More black. More top hat. More dour. It's got the old hearse there next to the Undertaker. What I liked about the Haunted Mansion at Disney World, it's got that kind of hearse in front of the.
And also, speaking about continuity earlier, the hat still has the hole in it.
Yeah.
Like, steal the scene and your movie.
Well, I feel like this has got the most like clear moral message of the three. You know, like taking responsibility and the idea of course Marty's. We see the most personal growth from Marty himself in this film. We don't really see a lot of personal growth from Marty in parts 1 or 2, if you think about it.
No, not really.
But it is a nice way to help end the series.
Oh, I'm not. That in no way, shape, or form is a slight. The moral messages and the character growth.
Yeah, it's like the writers put a lot more effort in this one.
The series lives on in Back to the Future: The Ride,
or animated series,
or animated series.
Does
or
it really live
Telltale
on in the
game.
ride?
Yeah.
Yeah, the ride's cool. Whoa.
Yeah. Whoa. Yeah. What are you trying to say?
The ride was taken
Whoop.
down.
Oh. Okay.
It's a special feature on Blu-ray.
Yeah. Okay. So the ride is dead now, but the series did live on in the ride.
That it did, and it was enjoyable when it still existed.
I miss it.
We all do, Chris. We all do.
I haven't been back since. I'll say that.
You haven't been back to the future since?
Part 3.
The Final Frontier. The Journey Home.
Yeah. Undiscovered Country. That'd be more fitting. Well, Final Frontier fits this too.
Yeah. I always love Marty's reaction to just that.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, it worked.
Man, that car needs a wash.
Well, it's like fucking rusted. Like that too.
Wait, I thought it was stainless steel. Does it rust?
It can.
Yeah. Not to mention it had been in there for like 70 years.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm amazed that it still runs, period.
Maybe I'm amazed at the way that you love me all the time.
I'm not.
I mean, she's supposed to be dead anyway, so she has no purpose being here in 1885, right?
I mean, we fucked up time once, Doc.
Yeah,
Let's do it again.
Wouldn't her continued survival
be more hazardous?
Yeah.
True.
It's the yeah. This, I mean, you know, it's the best acting I think that Christopher Lloyd does in the 3 films. The idea that he knows he's got this responsibility to maintain the space-time continuum, and a man that's potentially facing his own death, his own mortality.
I second the motion.
Motion carries.
Any opposed?
Yeah. You just need the second. If there's anything the man who shot Liberty Valance taught me, you just need a second. One last kiss.
There's always time for one last kiss.
Gets flushed on the toilet. Won't you be my neighbor?
The Mask, since we were just quoting it.
Yeah.
The auto shop where Jim Carrey's character gets his car worked on is the same building that they shot the interiors of the firehouse for Ghostbusters.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
It's fantastic.
I find that extremely interesting.
Extremely Ghostbusters.
I love that cartoon.
Give me real Ghostbusters any day of the week.
Gimme Shelter.
Give me fuel, give me fire, give me all that I desire. Bow.
My friend used to, whenever he would go to Burger King, he would order his food in the style of Fuel. So he'd go, give me fries, give me Coke, give me double Whopper cheese.
Ooh, yeah. Da-na-na-na-na.
And the looks you would get for that?
Those are the drive-thrus, so usually.
I can just imagine laughter coming back through.
There was a couple years ago. You remember when Lady Gaga's Paparazzi came out? This has nothing to do with Back to the Future, but
Nobody fucking
but you
cares.
right?
It's Lady
We're
Gaga.
commentating on everything.
Yeah.
If anything, we have established through our countless commentaries that we do not keep track.
Yeah. It's like watching a movie with us.
Yeah,
We're not
exactly.
just going to talk about the movie.
Yeah. But so around the time that Lady Gaga's Paparazzi came out, someone posted online that whenever they go to Little Caesars, they like to order in the style of that song, and wrote out the words that they say, and it's, I would like a large, hot and ready pizza topped with pepperoni.
That's so annoying.
I know, I would have hated to have
been. That's funny, but
Yeah.
actually, really, I like.
Kudos for being able to carry,
Yeah.
like, for the commitment to go through.
Yeah, like
that.
halfway, you just be like, "I'm sorry,
I
I'm
just want a
sorry,
fucking
I just want a pizza with pepperoni." Do
Yeah.
you want a pepperoni? Not really. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Usually when I
Vomit.
walk in there, I'm just like, pepperoni, please.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I like the I actually like that song. I like the she does like a stripped down just piano version.
Hyacinth.
Oh, that's so good.
It's really good version.
Or lilac.
I think.
She smelled of lilac.
Yeah.
Aw, poor
Smells
dog.
like strawberries.
Tastes like strawberries.
Strawberry fields forever.
I would. No. I would.
Dog does the
shit.
one same thing every man would do.
Look at that face.
I know he
Yeah.
is fucking bummed. Some dread face.
I
Yeah.
have
Oh, just
been
to fucking
exactly
cover
where
his
he
eyes?
is.
Yeah,
That's fucking.
Dread
I am the
face.
law.
yeah.
It's like the one time Sam would not order a hot cocoa at Denny's.
It's been known to happen.
Yes, but then we know it is serious.
So, because of this and other Western movies, I've been like, what the hell is this thing wrapped around his arm? You know, that little like garter.
Yeah.
And that's actually exactly what it is. It's a shirt garter, because back in the day, like this era, when tailoring wasn't a big thing, or like, you know, you only did it for really special occasions and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Bartenders and other various people that had to work with their hands a lot would actually get these garter belts for their shirt, for their arm, you know, the shirt arms, so that they could tuck it so that the length of the sleeve was an accurate or an appropriate length.
Interesting. It's
Yeah.
almost like a very old version of the self-fitting jacket that you have, like in the second one.
Yeah,
Just a lot cheaper and, you know,
a lot more practical.
a lot more practical.
And
Because
not-
it actually was a thing. Who knows, maybe one day
and
that
not
will be.
not dumb in the eyes of Jake.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't self-drying jacket, maybe, but self-fitting, just buy one
Your
that fits.
jacket is now dry.
Yeah.
And again, some of us don't have that luxury.
Yeah. Sorry that you're an average sized person,
You know.
dick. I can just go into any store and buy clothes.
Yeah.
Yeah, like most.
Mana. Usually when I find clothes that fit my torso, they don't fit my arms.
Doc handles his whiskey the exact same way I do.
He hasn't drank it
that,
yet?
Is that a new bottle?
Exactly.
Like,
Well, here's the thing.
Because he hasn't drank any yet.
oh, he hasn't. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess at this point in the movie they haven't revealed that per
Yeah.
se, but
Yeah, they make it look like he's been drinking all night.
Oh yeah, and they cut away before.
He takes
Yeah.
a shot.
Yeah, slap that ass.
Horse is like, I would have walked away,
Yeah.
asshole.
He's going bareback too. I gotta
Yeah.
give him credit for that.
Yeah.
It's hard.
I mean, it feels better bareback.
yes.
I second the motion.
Motion carries.
Carries. I mean, by that by previous step,
Thank you, Josh.
you just need the second.
You're just here to second our motions.
If I won't, who will?
Clearly not Jake. He's not seconding shit.
If not now, when?
Back to the future.
Part 3.
Oh, that's right. We have a future to get to.
I owe you nothing, barkeep.
I didn't drink a damn thing.
Yeah, pours it back in. Not a drop spilled.
Oh, wait. And shit.
One of these days.
Did you see that one glass flew perfectly
Yeah.
in the air and shattered?
Yeah.
Again, he handles his whiskey as well as I do.
One of these. That's basically what you were looking like on your birthday, like after I gave you your 4 horsemen.
And that was the only shot I had the entire night.
Fun fact: the character Joey, who we only see for like half a second, real name Joey.
Easy to remember.
So
Princess
easy.
Purple Rain.
Yeah.
Look at how pretty this shot
Purple, my favorite.
Oh, yeah, there you go. Everyone join in. Yeah, Bebony and I. Woo.
Nice place you got here. Lots of space.
I'm that asshole that every time I walk into someone's new house, I utter that line and no one gives a shit. And they shouldn't.
You know, for my next birthday,
Oh God, this looks gross.
I want to have this.
Okay, there's Joey. Yeah, yes. In the full screen version, you do not see him at
Oh,
all.
bummer.
Sorry.
So this is the Joey version?
Yeah.
The Joey
Joey
cut?
edit.
Yeah.
Oh, just like El Dorado.
It's kind of like Harold Ramis in the scene where they're walking into the hotel. If you have the full screen version, you do not see him in that. You got to have the widescreen version to see him walking.
No, I also want this beverage served to me exactly this same way
Gotcha.
on my birthday.
All right, you pass out and I'll do it.
No, I don't even have to pass out. I just want the beverage.
All right. Good luck.
Seconded.
The motion carries. You second Josh wanting.
Yeah.
I third the motion.
That's a cool
Well,
shot.
This
let's
is a
not
really
get
nice
outta-
shot,
yeah,
too.
This
Yeah.
Is anything with a good old locomotive.
Oh, yeah, that's classic Western stuff.
It shook the
Yeah.
camera.
It's intense train.
That's steam.
Train intensifies.
If you got suspenders, you got to.
Mm-hmm. What a spiritual motherfucker.
Man should write a book.
It's just called As If My Future Depended on It. I don't know why I went McCartney instead of Irish, but it's what happened. You were all here for it. There's a giant fucking clock right there.
Yeah. But the the death of ancient Western Strickland happened after the campfire scene.
Yeah, so he's dead at this point. Naturally.
Here's a question: would ancient Strickland die like without the involvement of Marty and Doc? At least here. Well, as far as we know, theatrically, he doesn't.
I mean, yeah. I imagine based on their conversation at the dance, they had all of their crimes planned out in advance. So I imagine he probably the events would have transpired the same in that regard, because I don't think they really influenced that stuff at all.
Yeah.
Actually, I think if I remember correctly, because I have watched the deleted scene, I think it takes place at night. I think it was the night before the campfire that they kill Strickland.
Oh.
Thanks, Harry Carey Jr. Oh, here's a line for you, Jake. Wait for it. I spoke too soon. Here. It's true.
Never. In your dreams. Dream boy. Did he get rid of the cult he got earlier?
I'll let him answer that for you.
No, I mean, because he straight up got a cult earlier. Oh. I see what you
Like
did
I
there.
said, I'll let him answer.
I'll see what you did there. I'll see what you did there.
Hey, Harry Carey Jr.
Hey, old guy from The Man Who Shot Liberty Valance.
Hey, other person.
Yeah.
Who none of us looked up.
Yeah. just
go away.
God, look at the spit. Oh, God. This is why you get movies on Blu-ray. He really went out for this role. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do we use that term yet? I don't know.
He is
Yeah.
he is a hole on a donkey. Yes.
Yeah. He has one.
Maybe Marty is the
Created.
reason.
Wait.
By the way, I love the response. You have a back door to this place? Yeah, it's in the back. No
The back
shit.
door's not in the front?
Yeah.
Since when? No, as far as we know, Marty's pretty much still going to die here.
Wait.
Nice little nod to
The-
something we saw.
The line that guy just shouted out. I used to, as a child, thought he yelled out reflexes, as if it were some kind of nod to like earlier when the bartender said that it was a reflex action, and like he's just like reflexes.
What did he say?
He says reach blacksmith.
Ah.
It took until the DVD came out and I could turn on subtitles.
Was your mind just blown and your world
Yeah, a
shattered?
little bit.
Yeah.
What is this for?
How does this work?
I don't know why. I suddenly got like constipated at the thought of it.
Pregnant.
No.
A pregnant pause.
Oh, the worst kind.
Well, the pause was in its like third trimester already.
Take
Oh.
back to the second or first. I'm trying to remember how you always turned it.
I had said it's in its third trimester. I need you to bring it back to its first.
Yeah.
Which, to this day, my favorite
Directorial comment
yeah,
or
exactly.
revision.
Yeah.
Wait a second. They're talking about me.
That's my name.
Put on the pouty.
Oh God!
We're all dead.
And that, ladies and gentlemen, is why you never use that break.
Or precisely why
Mm.
for Clara.
Again. This time accurately.
It's a big old fucking gun.
Here's a little excitement for you, Jake. Here's where it gets real.
Kind of pays off from a passing reference in the second.
I wonder how much work that took to get right.
By the way, the other old saloon old timer is Dub Taylor, who was in. Damn it! I had to click away from it to go back to his name, but he was in a Clint Eastwood movie. Let me scroll back. Just enjoy the movie for a second.
Oh, I am.
Thunderbolt and Lightfoot.
Oh,
With Jeff Bridges.
yeah. Clint Eastwood was a big fan of Jeff Bridges in that movie.
It's one of my favorite responses.
What if he shot me in the face? Yeah, what if he shot you in the face? That's a risk we're willing to take.
Roll credits.
I think he took his wallet.
Yeah. That's not what you do after you win a fucking draw.
That's what he
No,
does.
it totally is.
Oh, look what I did. Ooh, boy.
Oh shit, the gun works.
Yeah, I did it. I did it.
I did the
I
thing.
did it. I like how I didn't notice it in the VHS, but in like the DVD and the Blu-ray, you actually hear the tink come off of.
Oh, yeah, really?
Yeah. I mean, maybe it's because now I know what I'm looking for or listening for.
Batman 89 reference to when the Joker
Yeah.
Oh,
punches old Bruce Wayne.
Or more accurate, to the point, a Fistful of Dollars reference, which is where Marty gets the idea.
Nah,
Two.
clearly it was a Batman 89 reference.
Well, no. I mean, I know. Obviously, it was a
Yeah.
Batman 89 reference, but yeah. Where he's wearing the.
As far as Marty knows, Batman 89 doesn't exist.
That's
yet.
right.
Because it is 1985.
Yeah.
No, he's
In
definitely,
4 years, he's gonna get his mind blown.
That's right.
He's like, I did that. Ugh.
Hey,
This is like
Oh,
this is the grossest
shit.
manure
like open sores and
of
like
yeah
with face wounds.
of the three like manure
Manure.
cannons. This is the worst.
oh really?
You go, Doc.
Put a line.
Yeah.
I rode in like a bat out of hell. Oh Jesus! God.
It's in his beard.
Wait, it's in more than just his beard.
Oh, I know.
Wait for it.
To be fair, the second time he hits the manure truck in the sequel in Back to the Future Part 2,
Yeah.
he spits it out of his mouth as well.
Yeah,
yeah,
but
that was-
but it's like whereas this one's just like
It oozes out. Yeah.
drools out.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, that kid's name in the script is Gun Kid.
Thankfully, he didn't make the mistake of saying, "Here, kid, you keep it."
Yeah.
But it is missing a bullet. I mean, maybe I guess it was loaded or something like that.
Who was that masked man anyway?
Hi-ho Silver away!
Damn it, she's late for everything. If only she had a time machine.
Ah. She does in a second. A Tim
And there it is.
batteries.
Time machine. Time.
Now she'll be on time for everything.
What's a Tim machine?
Yeah. I read Jules Verne, not H.G. Wells. He's not even a
been born
thing.
yet.
Yeah.
H.G. Wells rules.
Ever see that movie Time After Time?
No.
Never seen a grown man.
Great song.
Well, it's a time travel film where H.G. Wells and Jack the Ripper go to 1979 San Francisco.
No, I have
You know
heard
what?
of that one.
I think I'm gonna start calling him Jack to the Ripper.
Doesn't
yeah.
he kidnap Jack?
That's his rap name.
To the Hood.
He kidnaps a Ripper in that one, though, doesn't he?
He doesn't what? No, there's Jack the Ripper goes back to or goes forward to 1979 in San Francisco and realizes that he's like, you know what? I'm not in 1879 I was a freak. In 1899 I was a freak. In 1979 I'm ahead of the curve.
I might be remembering it wrong then.
It was directed by Nicholas Meyer, who directed Wrath of Khan. It was a pretty cool film.
Sounds pretty high concept to me.
They end up fucking each other up, and H.G. Wells bangs Susan B. Anthony.
Ooh.
It's pretty cool.
That was a stunt.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was indeed a stunt.
Doc's having the time of his life.
Dude, wouldn't you if you were running across a train like that?
If you were gonna stick up a train, come on. We're like Butch Cassidy, Sundance Kid level.
So if I haven't made it abundantly clear, my imagination was very overactive as a child. When they pulled their masks on, for whatever reason, in my brain, that was like, oh, they need to cover their faces because those logs have some sort of noxious gas coming off of them, and they need to make sure they don't die when they're crawling across it. We need to hide our identities.
That's adorable, Chris.
I know, right?
Silly Chris. Silly, stupid Chris.
Silly, stupid, da-das.
Yeah.
Another Forever reference?
Yeah. All forever reference. Forever. Forever.
It sucked then, and it sucks forever.
Still better than Batman and Robin, in my opinion.
Make sure not to breathe in those noxious log fumes.
Yeah. They're chemically treated to burn in the thing.
See, they're far enough. What? No, actually. Fox is in trouble. They still got some chunk. I guess it's not in their natural log form.
Well, because they're in front of the logs.
Oh, okay.
So the gases is being whisked away behind them. So
That's
a word.
Science, man.
Towards the passenger cars.
Straight up
Of course.
Science. Science rules.
You only need the masks when you're like literally climbing on top of them. That's why they also wear gloves, so they don't get the noxious gases
that
on their
makes
hands.
sense. Because if you get a splinter and then
fucked.
Then that chemical gets into your bloodstream.
Yeah, whatever that chemical is.
Yeah.
Probably like kerosene or something.
Now, at this point, how advanced is this DeLorean in the series?
Well,
I mean,
it's been to 2015.
Of things added to it, removed, changed around.
I mean, it's got the Mr. Fusion. It had hover abilities, and then it got it taken away. It had a fuse-based electrical system. It's got train tires now after having had regular 80s tires and then, white wall 50s tires.
Yeah. It still probably has, this gasoline, this petroleum combustion engine, which wouldn't be seen for another
It no longer has a fuel injection system though, because the alcohol shat it out the back.
Yeah.
Quite literally.
Literally?
Doc having the time of his life.
Dude, I'd be happier than a pig in shit.
He's got the
You know-
conductor hat.
You know what the hardest part of hijacking a train would be for me? My
Not
erection.
having, I was about to say, not having a Doc Brown to help you.
Quite literally the hardest part.
That's my favorite zombie apocalypse joke. It's like the hardest part about surviving a zombie apocalypse is going to be my erection. So I actually had to look up what a Presto log is. It's an actual thing that's like it's a fire starter log. Like the easy start logs or whatever the hell they're called.
Like the really weird granola-looking bricks.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Chemically treated logs that are probably poisonous to, breathe in too much.
Those ones actually are.
Yeah. Yeah. So he magically is able to make his own in 1885.
I'll believe it.
Yeah. Why not? He made a refrigerator that's also an ice maker.
That means when Marty gets back to 1985, he's going to be a relative 2 weeks older than he should be.
Yes.
That poor train.
Maybe even more.
Well, he's
he's
in 1955 for about a week.
Uh-huh.
He's in 1885 for 5 days.
Mm-hmm.
I guess he's in alternate 85 for about a day.
A day or two.
Yeah, he's only in 2015 for a few hours.
Yeah, but the real kicker is we don't know exactly how long he was in 1955 the second time. When to reconstruct the DeLorean, so he could be a relative 2 months older.
Yeah,
who knows how long it would have taken just the two of them to fix the DeLorean.
Whoever said time travel was a bad thing.
I don't know, and she's about to die because she doesn't have a mask.
Again.
Right. Seriously.
Yeah. So one of the cool things about this sequence, basically from now until like the end of this whole train sequence, depending on whether or not you see an actor clearly in the shot, it's jumping between like full-sized train and car to 1/3 model train and car. And I think it's actually like the reason why I love models, because in the behind the scenes video that I had back in the day, just like seeing them do this sequence was like the coolest thing in the world.
You know, at the point when the horn was going off, I would have figured they would have thought, like, wait, there's another train here? And she looks down.
What a stupid bitch.
You know the one thing they always tell you not to do? Always do it. It works out wonders for you. Considering how fast they're traveling, you can barely tell by the lack of wind blowing their hair.
I don't know what you're talking about. There's a lot of wind blowing his hair right there.
Yeah, barely any, really.
And then hers is just...
Yeah. Okay, that's
I mean, they look like they're going about 20.
Depends what angle you catch them at, where it goes from believable to, like, are they really traveling that fast?
I can barely hear you over all the locomotive sounds. By the way, I want to know how Doc was able to make that gauge in 1885, because it looks pretty high tech for the era.
Science,
bros.
Dude, I'd be like nervous about her hair getting caught in one of the locomotive, like in the wheels,
the spokes.
Whew.
Well, she was already supposed to die, so it happens. It happens.
Yeah, it's just a traumatizing thing to see. That's all.
The one thing you've never used in your life. Man, that was an intense song.
That's a really strong dress.
That's right. Prince made it, man.
And he's a natural.
So are we getting to where you would normally turn off the movie, or?
No, we still got a good chunk of time. I think maybe about 10, 15 minutes before I would switch off the movie. I mean, this is the climax of the movie, so we only have a little bit of denouement afterwards.
No, he normally wouldn't have been able to do that without actually propelling himself, would he?
Well, I mean, he's got the motion that the train... You know, he's going the relative same speed as the train.
Oh, so he's just carrying that momentum with him? Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Cool.
I mean, he'll probably like slow down and come to a stop without doing this.
Well, I was about to say, just like this?
Yeah, just like that. Hell yeah.
And...
So that's the model.
Oh, really? I thought that was an actual train.
And they had like 20 cameramen filming it simultaneously, and it was really cool to watch the behind the scenes featurette. And then this is a really neat transition.
Nice.
Yeah, but just like how, you know, the DeLorean here
Eastwood.
still has
Nice.
yeah, now it's Eastwood Ravine. But just like how the DeLorean here still has perpetual, or not perpetual, but is still being propelled by the momentum of the train, even though he himself does not have a functional engine, or at least a tank full of gas.
That's right. Yeah, it basically would just be running from the.
Yeah, but because he has nothing propelling him further, he stops.
I was about to say there's no functioning motor that would be able to drive those.
I mean, he's just out of gas.
Tires too, though, or wheels.
The wheels. I mean, if
Ooh,
he had,
there it goes.
yeah, if he had a tank full of gas and the fuel injector still functioning, I mean, he'd be able to do that. It would probably not work as well as having rubber tires, but I mean, that's how a train moves.
And that train right there, ladies and gentlemen, has managed to do the one thing Doc was never able to do successfully.
And also, that busts all of your myths about putting a quarter on the rails, derailing a train, because that's a lot bigger than a quarter.
Well, to be fair, I think the DeLorean is pretty lousy construction to begin with.
Whoa!
To survive
Whoa.
a train, definitely.
Do you know how hard it is to survive a train attack? Pretty hard.
Going what speed?
Train speed. Whatever the hell speed that was. Like 60 miles an hour, I think, is top speed for most trains.
I'm just saying, 60 miles per hour to do something like that to that DeLorean, anything steel frame would crush it then.
That's what I'm saying. It's not impressive.
I'm just saying, I imagine a Volvo would survive.
Well, Volvo is like a tank.
Yeah, exactly. You should have time traveled with a Volvo.
Brunch, I thought you had to go to work because you always wear a suit to the office. Hey, fake George McFly, why don't you just stay back there so no one realizes you're not actually Crispin Glover?
Despite the fact your nose gives it totally away.
Oh, that's right. He got the truck at the end of the first one.
Mm-hmm.
Is that the first time we see him drive it?
Yes.
Since the end of the first one. So this whole the whole series is about him being able to drive his truck for the first time.
Yeah. And go to the lake with Jennifer.
That's right. Yeah. Wow, that's crazy.
They really
Lives
have,
a freaking lifetime over, like couple lifetimes over,
as
to get to
it
this moment.
takes him roughly about, what now, a month? If our math is right?
But yeah, by our conservative
Elizabeth
estimates, about a month.
Shue. How I love you.
Shoo, Elizabeth Shue.
A month and one change of actress.
She should have won an Oscar for leaving Las Vegas.
Everyone should have won an Oscar for leaving Las Vegas.
Nick Cage did so.
I have the weirdest boner.
Oh, that's right, because in the second one, she's in there for like a hot minute, and then not.
Yeah.
I wish they would have used Elizabeth Shue more.
Yeah, it would have been nice.
I like her.
That's right. It was all a dream.
They briefly considered having it end, like having the first one end as it all being a dream, and then they were like, "No, that's dumb."
Yeah, I'm glad they didn't do that.
Like they left it in, like because like the end of it, is him waking up and being like, "Oh, good, everything's the same," but like, oh, there's Flea. God, look at that hair.
One of my favorite Huey
And he's
Lewis
listening
and
to
the
Huey
News
Lewis.
songs.
Huey Lewis is back.
To the future.
And they're still listening to the song, even though it's only been, like you said, however many days.
It's been a day.
Yeah, a day. That song's still new to everybody.
Yeah. Marty's like,
I've heard this song so
by
many
the way,
times.
right there, I also just like with the guys in the West, I had no idea what the passenger in Flea's truck was saying.
Yeah.
So I had to put the the subtitles on again for that, and I'm like, oh, he's saying come on, but he's like adding like 2 syllables to it. Subtitles has helped me out so much.
Now, how close are we to where you normally turn off?
Just like 2 minutes.
Okay.
And there's the Rolls Royce.
There's that accident that cost Marty full use of his hand.
Wait. I get my erasing picture moment now.
Wait a second. How did I know I had this in my pocket still?
Marty's just like, what are you talking about?
Hey, Mr. Fusion, you look salvageable.
Yeah. Way to not clean up after yourself, Marty. God.
It's got the Native American from that commercial or Wayne's World 2 crying.
Don't worry, man. We're going to clean it up.
See?
So right around here-ish is where like I would turn off the movie. Like yeah, like that noise is like, okay, done.
Wait.
Don't need to see this anymore. This is where I stop it.
Why is this happening? There's no train.
Again, I always dug this. That and the blowback.
It would have been great if there just wasn't a blowback. He just comes in, crushes them, and be like, shit.
So stupid.
For me, like, there's always this as much as Doc Brown kind of thumps the Bible about, like, we got to preserve the space content to destroy all. It's like, there's also that part of me that's like from the end of the first film where he's just like, you know what the hell, you know, like,
These kids look so creepy.
They look really anemic and damn sickly.
Future food sucks.
Or is that what we're blaming it on?
Yep, there it is.
A lot of dumb dialogue.
Oh.
I brought you chocolate.
I always have time for chocolate.
It's my penis.
Or my... It's a deep cut.
Yeah.
There it is.
Oh, hey, awesome. He just tosses out the old ripped up one.
He goes, yep, and bops her on the nose.
Yeah. Has a whole Willy Wonka song here.
Kind of does look like Johnny Depp's Willy Wonka.
Yeah. Eats a teacup.
Everything here is eatable.
Yeah. The snozberries taste like snozberries. Yeah.
The train even opens like a DeLorean.
Yeah.
Part 4?
Has there ever been, like, serious talk?
No.
Okay.
That's what the cartoon show was.
That's what the ride was, and yeah, the cartoon show.
And by the filmmakers' own admission, they were just like, we're good.
Yeah.
After this...
We did the dumb time-traveling flying train. We jumped the shark already, guys. We don't need anything else.
Again, I don't mind. I don't mind the train. Wait, Chris, do you not like the time-traveling train? Is that not clear?
Two of your favorite things.
I know, right?
They got together and
You'd yeah. You'd think that I'd be all over that, but no. Like, so here's my problem with it. Like, yes, as someone geeking out over it, as someone who loves trains, as someone that loves time travel and Back to the Future in general, yes, I'm like woohoo. But like, just it's so impractical that one, he would have been able to make it. And then two, like, is able to go around inconspicuously enough that, you know, like they did with the DeLorean, like to actually be able to actually travel through time. Like, it rubs me the wrong way as a person that forges stories, you know?
Yeah, there's no point that train would not stick out like a sore thumb.
Yeah,
But yes, as the little kid in me, yes, I still do kind of like, ooh.
yeah. I mean,
And when
he's not
when
constrained by time after he stays back in 1885. As far as we know, Biff Tannen's or Mad Dog Tannen's
Buford Tannen.
Buford or Mad Dog.
Yeah,
the
it's just
Tannen.
the idea that he is able to pull together the technology is like, huh? Like you weren't able to fix the time machine to get yourself out of 1885, but you were able to build one from scraps.
He said he was able to. He said he would be able to do it. But remember, the entire thing about Back to the Future 3 is there's a ticking clock. They're like, in 5 days, you're dead.
Well, no, he doesn't know that when he says that he can't fix the time machine.
Well, he says it would take him.
In the letter, he says that suitable replacement parts wouldn't be made until 1940 something.
Right. For the yeah. However, I mean, he's got what? Does he have two? No, he's only got. He's got the DeLorean that leaves for Marty. I don't know. I feel like he could pull it off, man. He's fucking Doc Brown. Anyway, so yeah, this has been Jake. This is your first time seeing it.
Yeah, Jake, what'd you think?
I mean, I still think obviously it's a case of the first one is clearly the best.
It's got the itis.
You know, the best of the three. But I gotta say, I really enjoyed this one.
Yeah.
You know, and of course, a lot of it helps that it has little homages to Clint Eastwood, but mostly because it's a Western, and I feel like it's. You know, I feel like the second one was really constrained to, like you guys were saying, we have to follow what the end of the first one did. Like, they kind of dug themselves into a hole to get to where we want to go, which is the Western.
Yeah,
and,
this is the sequel that they always wanted to make.
And it shows. I mean, I don't think 2 is really a bad movie. It was okay. I mean, I wasn't the biggest fan of it, but
it's not unwatchable.
No, but 3 was good. I enjoyed 3 a lot.
Yeah. Oh,
so that's my review, and I'm sticking to it.
And there you have it. Well, it's been another Geek Out commentary, and we'll be back next week with a not Back to the Future
Something. No, we're gonna watch Back to the Future the ride footage.
Yeah, and commentate on it.
Yeah. Why
but
not?
yeah, we've got we're starting to enter summer movie season, so we'll be.
And it's looking like it's gonna be a very exciting summer.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So we'll be discussing or doing a build-up to another blockbuster. Until then, we'll
Blockbuster
see.
Video?
No, unfortunately, that's deader than the DeLorean.
Mm.
But we'll be back next week.
We'll
with
be
a
double
different
back
movie.
again.
Yeah. Only look for one commentary.